10 tips for using Skype to teach guitar lessons or other musical instruments. Number 1, have an office chair that is adjustable both up and down and that has wheels so you can zoom in and out. Teaching guitar, sometimes I'll go to the left so they can see my left hand, other times I'll go to the right so they can see my right hand, and so forth. Have an office chair. Tip number 2, use 2 devices. I use an iPad and the computer at the same time. I generally use my iPad for the Skype, and then I'll have whatever materials I'm using on my computer. That way I'm not trying to jump in and out of windows on one device. Not only that, I'm mobile. Sometimes I use my iPad to teach Skype in the middle of the day where I'm teaching private lessons at the music studio in town. That way you're mobile, you can teach anywhere you are. Tip number 3, use 2 music stands. I keep my iPad on a music stand, something like this. Plus, you can clamp it down with some little office clips so it won't fall and break. You can buy these expensive microphone stand holders for your iPad if you like, but this is something real simple and it makes us mobile. I can move the stand up and down. I can move my iPad any way I want, and so forth. So have 2 music stands there. You have one for the iPad and one for the materials, your books and stuff you're using. Tip number 4, lighting. I prefer teaching in the daytime when the sun is out because the lighting is so simple. There is no lights on in my house. What you're seeing is the light from the window that's coming back. So try to have the back of your device facing the window, and then have blinds on your window so you can adjust how much sunlight is coming in. There's no better light than the natural sunlight coming through your window. Number 5, this is more for the teachers than it is for the student. Be prepared. Have lessons on your website, and as you're teaching, they can interact with your website. I've got a page I call Guitar Goodies that's got hundreds of materials on there. It's just little links. It's basically an index of my materials. So have your web page where they can just click and go to that, and y'all can interact with your website. Number 6, Dropbox. Dropbox is a program used where y'all can share files. It's free unless you're using a ridiculous amount of files. It's free, and what you can do is you can write out little assignments, scan them, save them as PDFs, and put them in this box, and your students can share these files. It's called Dropbox, and it's free online. Number 7, using videos. On my iPad, I can record a video just like that. Sometimes when I teach a student, as soon as I'm finished, I will record like a little 1-minute lesson of something they might be having a problem with. Generally, I just do it when they're having a problem with something. There might be a rhythm or something that they're not catching, and I'll tell them, I'll say, I'm going to record that and send it right to you. It only takes a second, and not only that, when you do a little video on the iPad, you can just click one little click and mail it to whoever you want. It's very, very simple once you get the hang of it. Number 8. Number 8 is one of the most important ones. Whenever you're using Skype, there's a little box up in the corner, of your computer there, and that little box shows you what the other person is seeing. So always keep your eye on that little box. Keep looking over to it to make sure that you're positioned where they can see your hand, where the guitar teacher can see your hands. Because I find myself like I sound like a broken record. I can't see your hands. I can't see your hands. I can't see your hands because they're not paying attention to that little box. Pay attention to the little box and make sure that you're sitting comfortably where your instructor can see your hands in that little box on the Skype. Number 9 is one of my favorite. When you're looking at Skype, on the bottom you'll see a little bubble. Click that bubble. That's for text. You can type text in there. And so what I'll do is I'll type the assignment in there, the things that we're working on. Plus I'll send them links. And when you send that, they'll just pop up in their window, and they can click on it if it's a link to a web page or their assignment. And plus, it logs everything that stays there. So each week when you go in, you have a log of everything you've done. That's a good way to keep up with the assignments. That's a great feature on Skype. Number 10 might seem a little obvious, but I'm going to state it anyway. whenever you're teaching, make sure that you and the student, or you or vice versa, has the same materials. I make sure the student has a book that we're working through, and I have the same book on my end, so we can have a hard copy where we can both work on it, and not be jumping around a bunch of windows, especially if you only have one device, because then you're trying to jump through a lot of windows, and that can be a little bit frustrating. So I hope this helps, and good luck.